anyway, I am on my way to get Aiden. It is midnight. It's like 12:11. I am like, fuck, I'm so tired. Like, I wanted to watch Desperate Housewives, but my husband didn't come home in time. He's helping James at the car lot, doing, you know, whatever James is doing. And oh my God, I was like, I fell asleep. And then my alarm now woke me up, and I was like, But I wanted to make a video because, you know, I'm reading that book. Remember the Louding Girl or something? I don't remember the name of the book anymore. And I mean, it's taking me forever to read this book. And there's times I'm cheating now and reading. Like today, I read like, I think 4 chapters, okay? And I am on chapter now 30 or 31. I want to say the next chapter I'm going to read is going to be 31, actually. No, I think it is 30. But either way, and there's 55 chapters in this book. So I'm like basically halfway, okay? Not even halfway. That's what's so depressing, okay? And that makes me really sad. I'm like, why is this taking so long? Like, I feel like, because there's so many books I fucking want to read. And I don't know, I mean, like I said, I've been deleting shit on my phone too, like, whatever, but I saw it was I wrote a post, you know, because sometimes I screenshot my memories, like about me talking about stuff, and I was talking about how I watched Crucible, and I loved it. It was, you know, this was the second time I watched it, and you know, the integrity of it, like, and here these girls, they basically got, burned at the stake, you know? They stood their ground, and, anyway, Jesus. So I was like, dude, I gotta watch that movie, and it's on my list of things to read, Crucible. I'm like, you know, so, but it's gonna take me, I don't know how many fucking days to read this book at the rate I'm going. And I'm not saying it's a horrible book, because it's good, it's interesting, but I have to admit, like, remember, I don't know if I even talked about it, but it was at first hard to get into the reading because of the language. Like, she has a very thick accent, and I would assume it's an African accent, because and her words are all choppy because her English ain't that great, and so it was freaking hard to read it at first. Like, oh my God, this is just too much. But I've gotten where I can read it, and it's no problem now, you know. But like I said, dude, I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I'm just like, it's gonna take me forever. And I don't know, you know, and I'm watching these people on YouTube, and all these books they're talking about. I'm like, oh, I want to read that and this and that, but then I got all these other books that I have to read still that are on my list, and books I need to finish and shit. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, fuck me, I'll never even get through all of this if it takes me over a month to read one damn book. Even though I'm reading like these 3 books at one time, because I got Raymond's book, Aiden's book, my book. You know what I mean? And other fucking little things too that, you know, that, like, you know, has to be read and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I said, I love Christine, but I also want to read, can't wait to read the other book, the next book that me and Aiden are going to read. You know, but I was like, getting the time to fucking read, and then reading and getting done with the book. Oh my God, it's crazy. I just feel, I don't know, like, what? I don't know how these people can read as much as they can. I was like, dude, I know it's like, oh, it's, you know, priorities, but what the fuck are my priorities if I cannot do this? I was like, oh, Lord. Even listening to it on audio, if I do that. But like I said, I'm not doing audio. Actually, believe it or not, I'm literally reading with my eyes on all of the books we're now reading. There's not one audio book yet. But even audiobooks take time, you know what I mean? Energy and focus, and I have no time. Oh, but I have to, I don't know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And oh my God. And I gotta talk about this. We're watching Desperate Housewives. I was excited to watch the episodes coming up. I was like, oh yeah. I mean, okay, we are now, like I said, season 3, and there's, you know, and there's some funny scenes there. And then, but anyway, I gotta talk about God, I can't even remember their names. You know, Lynette and her husband, which I can't even think of his name either. And now they have a baby mama from the past in there, and that baby mama's trying to steal her husband. And it was funny because I was thinking, dude, she's like all like, oh yeah, I'm support you. She said your wife should be more supportive and blah blah blah. Your trades because he wants to make a pizza restaurant, and I'm thinking, dude, she's an idiot because I know she wants a man for her kid, right? Which would be the daddy, because the kid is saying, oh, I want my daddy, right? Which I guess makes sense. But still, I was thinking, you know, if she gets this guy, he has no job. And yes, he might want to start a restaurant, but he has no money to start a restaurant. You know what I mean? So let's say he does do this. So he has no job right now. So Lynette makes all the money. She's the one that makes the money. You know what I mean? And she has 4 children with him. Well, she only has 1 child with him. And I mean, apparently she has a job, because they have said, oh, she's got a job, right? Which is a good thing, because she's going to be the one supporting everybody. Because he's going to have to pay child support for 4 children compared to the 1 child that she has. And so imagine that, right? She's pretty much putting her eggs in a dead basket here. I was thinking, that's like a bad deal there, lady. Do you know what you're getting into with a man that doesn't have a decent job, doesn't have a job now at all? He has a bad back, which I don't think she's seen yet, because, you know, Lynette had, you know, his back started kicking in. He's having back issues. He couldn't even get up when he was watching the children. You know, she had to quit her vacation. And this lady is lazy. She's like, you know, on the thing. Well, at least that's what she showed her at first. Like, she was just, what, dropping her kid off places and going chasing men. I mean, you know what I mean? That's kind of how they showed her. I'm not saying she's like that. You know, and she's all crazy. You know, so but because I'm sure they'll start showing her now more responsible and this and that, you know, I'm sure, right? I don't know. So yeah, they would just make, because I guess she's a new character, they're probably just making her awful so we hate her. You know? I mean, well, we might should feel sorry for her because she's a single parent. But I don't know. It just made her kind of jerkish. You know, and obviously a bad character because she's trying to steal her husband. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm saying, you don't want that guy. He's definitely not going to make your dreams come true. You know, if anything, it's going to be harder with him. She's no idea. You know, that's what I'm thinking. But, I mean, and I really do like her and Lynette and her husband together, I guess, you know. I mean, you know, most time, I most time I do. I don't know. That kind of varies, but and Lynette, she's a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure. Just like when she was like, you know, when what's her name kissed her husband, and she's like, oh, you know, this is not okay. And then she goes and shows her why it wasn't okay with Carlos, and she's like, okay, I get it. You know, she's like, what's her name? Like, okay, I get it. You know, I see what I did was wrong. You know, shouldn't have kissed your husband, blah, blah, blah. You know, she's like, yeah. and then when this one, her boss lady was using her to go out and find men, right? She's like, okay, I'll show her. So she didn't want to keep going out with her. So she goes and she starts stealing the guys because she knows what she's doing. She knows how to get a man. And then the lady's like, never wants to go out with her again, because I guess she realized, holy shit, she is competition. You know, she is competition. Just like her friends. And she would, you know. Anyway, yeah, I was like, oh my god. So, and then I feel sad because Carlos and what's her name? Gabriella. You know, they really seem like a good couple. I mean, it's been really sweet kind of see them when he's trying so hard, you know. But then they show her really, you know, basically hurting him. But it was, you know. But yeah, it's too bad. You know, because they really did seem like a good couple. And then it was really sad because, like I said, they had that surrogate mom, and you know, having their baby, and that baby is not theirs when it comes out. I mean, talk about bad luck. They put the wrong egg and sperm in a carrier, and then unfortunately their egg and sperm did not do anything, so they didn't get a baby. Whoever had their whatever didn't get their baby. So that's so sad. But, you know, at first I was confused too. I was thinking, did that lady sleep with somebody? Did she lie and she's already pregnant, you know? And then that's when you found out, no, it was a mistake. And that's a horrible mistake. Like you said, after that, yeah, you wouldn't want to try to have a baby, because that's hard. Like, talk about bad luck. Like, oh my God, if you had signs that you should not, you know, try and have a kid, there's is definitely a story for that. And, oh man. And actually, this guy who's married now to Bree, the dentist, they're actually perfect for each other. It is so funny. You know, they're both neat freaks, right? You know, I'm kind of wondering if he didn't kill his wife. Like, if he really, the way they showed him that when she came, she was trying to run from him and she came home. Now we know he killed the bird, so yeah, he had to have killed the wife, but when he said, no, I promise you, I didn't kill the wife, he really seemed genuine when he said that. And I thought, maybe he did let her go. But how would he let her go and kill the bird? You know what I'm saying? That does seem whatever. It was probably a cop across the street, maybe. Hopefully not. This is so horrible. I'm trying to film just so I don't have to stare at nothing. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Hope Aiden gets done soon. Shit. Let me think here. Fudge. Anyway, think you want to focus, girlfriend. Focus. Yeah. Okay, back to what I was saying. I was on camera. No. Oh, yeah, Bree and her dentist guy. But yeah, they just seem like really perfect for each other. And he's actually, you know, even with the kids, like, he actually got the son to listen to him. You know what I mean? Now, and those two kids are so messed up. It is so funny. But I said, the son, who kind of is evil, he also was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, his sister tries to kill herself, pretend kill herself, because she barely really, he's like, oh, she's just trying to get attention. But he goes down there to tell them. And then Bree's like, don't interrupt me while I'm talking. He's like, okay. So he just goes to eat, and then he goes calmly, oh, she's trying to kill herself. And then they, oh my God, you know, but I thought it was funny because, you know, he's just not that worried. And he can kind of see through, you know, through it too. He's like, you know what? She's just wanting attention, you know? And I hate to say it, I mean, so some of the things he says, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of felt like Bree kicking him out and leaving him at the bus stop was actually kind of perfect. It kind of taught him a lesson, right? In a way, like real life. Like, that girl, she kind of probably could use that too. You know, like a little tough love. But I have to admit, the truth is, Bree really is, I think this was the kid's problem. The mother cares more about making everyone think they're normal and not being embarrassed by whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's how she is. Because, you know, like, the son's like, why don't we just tell everybody the truth? You know, we got into a fight, I left, I ran away, which, you know, he didn't, but he, you know, he was willing to say, I ran away and then I came back home. The end. You know what I mean? So I had to live on the streets and learn, you know, it was, you know, kind of thing, which is true. It's not that big a deal. So they're like, no. She's like, oh no, we're gonna teach about camp. And the same thing with the daughter. Like, I can't remember, but they're like, let's, you know, cover that up too, right? They just want to cover all the stuff up. And the daughter, she literally just saw her boyfriend get shot right in front of her, and he was gonna kill her mother. Okay, possibly shoot her mom. You know, so talk about trauma, and so that I do actually think. And then she's like, I'm here. No one even cares. I mean, I've been traumatized and this and that. So I can actually see her point. She does feel like no one gives a shit because they're more worried about whatever, you know? I'm like, God. So like when they went to therapy and stuff, and then it was funny. She's like, oh, I've got power, so I can do this. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to date my, you know, teacher boyfriend. and you're not going to do anything about it. You know what she did? You know what Bree does? She goes and she freaking... to the guy, gives her the girl's stuff and says, here you go. You can have my daughter now. She's your problem now, which I thought was perfect. And the guy goes, no, I don't want her. So he breaks up with her. And she's like, and you better not tell him I was here, because obviously you can't, because that would ruin the whole thing. So then, you know what? It's funny. So when he does break up with the daughter, he's like, oh, you're just too much trauma or something with his divorce and stuff or whatever, you know? She's like, the daughter goes, yeah, I don't have to worry about the teacher thing anymore, because I went to his boss. And I basically told him what happened, and he got fired. And then he started yelling at me. I taped what he was saying, and I showed it to his wife. And so now he's not going to get nothing in a divorce. He's going to get fucked both ways. I thought that was hilarious. And then it was funny because, what's his name goes, oh, that's pretty something, underhanded or something. I can't remember what he is. And Ree goes, I wonder where she gets it from. She's smiling because it's her. She's that way. She's fucking like if that guy doesn't realize it, he's like, yeah, you don't want to mess with Bree. She's good. She's got some shit going on there too. Her kids are the way they are partly because of her also. That's the ironic part of it all, right? But yeah, that was such a funny scene. I was like, yeah, you gotta, like I said, you gotta love these people's personalities. They're so crazy, over the wall. But it's like, yeah, you gotta love all of their personalities. Yeah, and they're so different in their unique way. And then I thought it was funny because it was like the old ladies now in their group, they're talking, and I was thinking she took the place of that blonde lady, which name I can't remember, that one that Susan and her are always fighting over guys, and oh my god, yeah, and that she took her place in that group, but yeah, it's funny as hell. That show is so funny and interesting, and like I said, I mean, right now Zach and his dad Paul are not in this show, and I'm really sad about that, but I guess they needed a break, And then they did put this cute guy in there that was the girl lady with the bees. B started her name is nephew. And I was like, dude, he's hot like Casey on As the World Turns. Like, I was like, wow, but they do have him look ugly sometimes. Like, I was like, dude, that hairstyle looks terrible. What the fuck? He came there, started out as this hot guy. And then, then he's got that, and then they got him looking all fucking weird kind of too. I was like, what is that? And, yeah. But, anyway, I guess I'm almost at 20 minutes, so I should quit talking about Desperate Housewives. I was talking about books, and now I'm talking about my show, and I'm like, but yeah, shit. And then my Amazon account, I could not rent this movie today that Ray and Raymond wanted to watch. So I was like, dude, what the hell? I don't know what's wrong. I can only think there's a glitch on Amazon. That's why I can't freaking buy this thing. So maybe the glitch will be gone tomorrow. Who knows? But I'm not working during the day tomorrow. I'm going to start at nighttime with my husband. That's it. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I might work throughout the day. I really need to be honest, because I'm broke already. It is not even funny. Paying those bills, somehow I overpaid. I was like, what the hell, Johanna? What were you thinking? I don't know. I think it's the water bill. I don't think I subtracted it when I subtracted the bills today. Because if I had, I would have realized, fuck, there's no money left. There's no money left. I'm not even sure. Oh my God. So I'm just like, I do need to make money. Oh. And remember, this is the 2 weeks that's usually pretty hard. The only lucky thing is, the electric bill falls on the next paycheck, not this paycheck, the next one. So that's one saving grace, thank God. I might actually be able to do that. Okay, I'm going to start a video about the debt thing. Hold on, this is the next talk.